Hi, I'm Chuck Dorsett for Weaver Leathercraft, and this is the Leather Element. Halloween, how did it get here so fast? In fact, you know what? One of my favorite times of the year because I get to throw on a costume and be somebody else for a day. Throw on the armor or something you made yourself. What could be more fun? Well, there's one more thing that could be more fun. Making the costume. Now, we've got a full video on making a mask, but we're going to touch on the highlights because right here alone, a lot of fun and no end to the possibilities. Now, I love throwing on a costume, absolutely. But to me, the most fun is getting together with friends or family or a group of kids and spending an entire afternoon or evening making our masks or making our costumes. In fact, that's what we're going to do. Like I said, we've got a full video, but we're going to touch on the high points because this can be extremely inexpensive and incredibly rewarding. Sky's the limit on design, all right? Let's look at 4 right off the bat. First off, we've got our classic opera mask. Is that not cool? Thing is, we're using a veg tan leather. So when I put this on, that fits my face perfectly. We can jump up, maybe go with some red dye. We'll get a closer look at these. But notice my little design here, done with a Sharpie. That's exactly right. All kinds of options. Gray wolf. Well, you know what? I'm not necessarily a big artist, so I'm not sure if this is a gray wolf or a gray fox. But you know what? Spray paint and some acrylic paint, and again, that easy to work with veg tan leather. One more. Do we have a young crusader in the house? Or maybe dad wants to fight in the crusades. Again, how easy is that? All right, so we're just going to touch on the high points of making some masks with leather. So let's step over here and look at how we can very quickly and easily make a cool pattern. Now, the one key with making a mask, and we're going to talk about the leather shortly, but our pattern. This can be so easy, like our standard opera mask. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pattern paper, and it's best if we have something a little bit thicker because we're going to trace onto leather with this. But what I can do is fold this in half. So therefore, I've got a good center line. But now, even just eyeballing this, what I can do is draw in my design. There we go. And then let's draw in an eye maybe. There we are. And that right there, all manner of possibilities. So now that I've got this drawn in, all I have to do is cut this out while it's folded. When I open this up, it's perfectly symmetrical. So even if I've got a bend here that's not just right, it's going to be on both sides. So it's going to look like it was made that way. Every mask right here is made that same way. In fact, here's the pattern for the fox. Is that not cool? All right. So places to get patterns. If you don't want to maybe try to come up with something yourself, just go online and pull up any manner of object, put in silhouette and images, and you're going to come up with very simple images that you can in turn trace, or what I like to do is maybe get the basic shape and then work on that, make it my own. Here's Anubis, done exactly the same way. The fox and our opera, of course. There's our pattern for that. And then right here, our cool crusader mask. There's the pattern for that. How easy can that be? And again, simply fold it over, measure that out, open it up, and I've got a perfect pattern. All right, so easy enough to get a start on our patterns. Let's jump over and look at some leather. Now, on the leather, couple points right off the bat. First off, this is a single shoulder. In fact, I've cut a good part out of it. But this is very affordable, and we sell some of the prettiest single shoulders I've ever seen. Point here is if you're going to get together with a group, one single shoulder will cut multiple masks. In fact, right here, if I really work this in, get very economical with this, I might could get 8 or 9 masks out of this one piece, okay? Weight-wise, I tend to like about a 4 to 5 ounce, which is about a 1/16 of an inch. That's going to give me the ability to mold very well, very tight if I want to. But also, I've got some good durability there. So 4 to 5 ounce, single shoulder, great way to go, and these are very affordable. Now, when we cut, say I've got my pattern ready to go, all I need to do is drop this in, and with either a pen, pencil is better, but I can see a pen more easily. I can use this as long as I cut inside my ink line, which it's going to be a little larger than actual pattern anyway. So therefore, with this, trace that in, take a simple box cutter, and this will cut leather as easily as that. Super easy to do. All right, so we've got our pattern. We've got our leather. Let's talk a little bit about our decorations. Now, we have got so many possibilities here that I can't even get all these in the shot. But this is my favorite part of a project, decorating it, all right? First off, wet molding. Notice I've got a nice ridge along here and 2 ridges right here. All that is some pencils. So I dropped in 2, got 2 more coming in. I can drop my wet veg tan leather, so I've dropped this in water, maybe for just about 30, maybe 20, 30 seconds. Now look at that. I can mold that in just about any shape I want, and we can make all manner of molds from household items. Is that not cool? Easy enough. Now, it's going to take some dry time here, maybe about 8 or 9 hours, so we need to plan ahead on that. Moving on, we've got spots. One of my favorites, and I use these all the time. In fact, this is a test piece for a project that's coming up. But right here, would these not look great around the outside edge? That would pop. Now, we've got spots, how to apply spots in just about every one of our videos. But that's all we need, a craft knife and a little pallet of cardboard, and we can go to town with spots. Lines, decorations, shapes, borders, all manner, okay? Moving up next, basically dies and antiques. Now right here, I've dyed the entire piece in a light brown Pro dye, and then I've painted in with acrylics, which we're going to next. That's it. Wet formed, dye, acrylics, and in fact, I think my line right there is a Sharpie. We'll mention those as well. Okay, jumping over to paint. Unlimited possibilities. Here's Anubis, simply done with black dye and gold Angelus paint. Is that not cool? What a cool decoration as well as a mask. I think we have 42 colors, but these are gorgeous. So again, possibilities right there alone, unlimited. Now we can always stamp in a border, or we could do some hand tooling. That would make a nice mask. Sharpies, again, my lines right here are Sharpie, and I believe around the eyes are Sharpie. Very easy to control, all manner of colors, and then we've got a wide point and a thin point. Now we can add dye via pen. I think we've got 24 colors, and this is simply dye in a pen. So we can get really accurate, and we can add a rainbow of colors to our project. Last, and this is funny, spray paint. Got 2 great examples here. All right, so our Crusader mask. I've sprayed the entire mask with simply a gray spray paint. I've come in with our Angelus Gold, painted that in. Look at that. Is that not cool? And looks good too. One more point. We can use our spray paint to add a touch of color. In fact, again, I've got a base dye here of the Pro Light Brown. I've dropped in yellow across my bottom and a little black across my top. Is that not a beautiful design? And one more point here. That's simply an ink pen making those lines. They're scribed in, but filled in with an ink pen. So all told, in the way of decoration, there literally is no end to the possibilities. Now that's exactly right, but let's boil that down a little bit. Any one of these techniques by itself, unlimited possibilities. But when we start to combine these, that's my favorite part of a project. Now, one big point. We've talked about masks, absolutely, but leather is going to make all manner of costume and costume accessories. And here's a big point, particularly if you're new at leather. Did you notice how easy it is to create our pattern? How easy it is to cut our leather, to wet form, mold, stamp? That's exactly right. We need very few tools. We need very little skill, and we can create a spectacular outcome. I hope you have a great time with some friends or some family with a great evening of making masks. You're going to be surprised at the creativity that literally comes out of nowhere. Thanks for taking time to watch The Leather Element. Happy Halloween, and good luck with your projects.